सभी को नमस्कार. Hello to everyone. My name is Kisle Kumar. I am the president of Indian Overseas Congress South Korea, and this webinar is about GKS. Global Korea Scholarship is a scholarship being provided by the Korean government, and it is a very prestigious scholarship. और अभी हमारे साथ इस स्कॉलरशिप पे बात करने के लिए तीन हमारे गेस्ट मौजूद हैं. राजेश कुमार, who has done his PhD from SNU. SNU is ranked around 37 in the world, and in Korea it is number one university. And then he has done his undergrads and masters from JNU, Jawaharlal Nehru University, which is again one of the most prestigious universities of India. And we have another speaker, Sandhya Gumpina. Sandhya is doing her master's in Konkuk University right now, and she will explain about herself, and then she will, also talk about KGSP, GKS scholarship, which was formerly known as KGSP. And we have a third speaker, Shreya Mishra. She is also from JNU, and she is doing her master's in Korean studies from Yonsei University. Yonsei is also one of the best universities of South Korea, and of course, Konkuk also a very prestigious university in South Korea where Sandhya is studying. तो योनसे यूनिवर्सिटी भी साउथ कोरिया में एक बहुत अच्छा यूनिवर्सिटी माना जाता है, और वहाँ पे इन्होंने जीके स्कॉलरशिप इन्हें मिली है, श्रेया को. तो जीकेएस में हमारे जो भी इंडिया से स्टूडेंट्स आते हैं, तकरीबन 50 स्टूडेंट्स हर साल आते हैं जीकेएस से. उनको फुल टाइम स्कॉलरशिप, आने जाने का, फ्लाइट का किराया, और साथ में स्टाइपेंड भी मिलता है, जो कि करीब 50 से 60 हज़ार रुपये इंडियन करेंसी में होता है. तो बिना समय और लिए हुए हम लोग शुरू करेंगे. हम अपनी पहली स्पीकर संध्या को बुलाना चाहेंगे. आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट संध्या टू अनम्यूट हर एंड पुट ऑन हर वीडियो. एंड संध्या, I would like to begin by asking you about what is GKS, and how can you explain our students to, apply for GKS? Where can they find this scholarship? How many students are taken through this scholarship every year? How can you write SOP for GKS scholarships, and where they can apply? What are the courses available, etc. So overall, we would like to get a picture from you about GKS scholarship. Thank you, Sandhya.
So good evening, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. I'm Sandhya from Andhra Pradesh. So today I'm going to talk about how can you apply for the GKS. Before talking about that, I'm a GKS scholarship student from 2021 batch. So this is almost my final year. So I'll give you the short explanation about how we are going to get the what is the process of GKS. So GKS is like a currently global Korean scholarship that everybody knows, which was provided by the NIED. So every year you're gonna, for the undergraduates, the application will be open in September. For the graduate students, the application will be open during March. So for that, first you need to prepare some kind of documents. Before talking about the documents, I'm going to tell you what are the types of tracks you have. So you have like an embassy track and then the university track. So when it is the embassy track, you are going to apply for the 3 universities. But when it is university track, you are going to apply only to the 1 university. So people who is trying to apply for more than 1 university can go for the embassy track. One who applied for the embassy track cannot apply for the university track. Also, so you can choose the universities according to the general universities and then the regular universities. General universities are for the all departments and all, and it's the same for the regular universities. But in the type A of type A and type B, type A will be the universities within the Seoul, and type B will be the universities outside the Seoul. So you can choose accordingly what kind of universities that you are going to apply. According to that, the quota will be changed based on your based on the subject that you're going to choose, based on the university ranking, and then types of general universities, and then the regular university. So when you choose the general universities, there is a probability of you getting into the university would be a comparatively lesser. So when you choose the regular universities, you're going to have like a good chances of acceptancy rate. Also like you can get this GKS application from the Study Korea website, and you can contact. So it's like during the process they have like so many things like one by one each. first you're going to fill the scholarships and then the personal statement, where you can mention like why are you so interested in this personal GK scholarship, why do you need, and what are your capabilities, what is your strengths and weaknesses. And for the SOP, you can write more about like your, there is a three categories in the SOP. So the first one is like why, what is your plans during your Korean language year? And second one is like what are you planning to do during your masters? And third category is like what are you trying to do after your masters? So like you can mention like if you wanted to stay in Korea, so you can say like I'm planning to stay here, work here, or else if you want to go back, you can just say like going back. But it should be in the details so that you can write like so many quotes in between. But also I, for my personal experience, I think like when you give your SOP and personal statement straightforward without giving like so many like this quotes and all, I think it would be easy for them to understand why you really need the scholarship. So you can also mention like during your masters, so you can plan your first semester, second semester, third semester, and fourth semester. Like from the first to third semesters, I'm going to take this many classes for, because based on my credits. And from the second semester, I'm going to start my project, and by the final semester I'm going to finish it on time. You can mention it like that. And for the Korean language year, you need based on the universities, there will be changing the topic levels. So as per Konkuk University, for me to graduate, I need to have a topic level 4. But some universities and some departments, they don't need any topic. And for universities, like for you to enter after so after your 1 year of your topic classes, you should have like a topic level 3 by the time you enter the university. But by the time you graduate, you should have a level 4. So based on that, you can do the, you can check what are the universities that you are planning to do, applying to do. And also for me as particularly an engineering student, I need to work under the laboratory. So you need to choose the professor before applying to the university track or the embassy track. So once you one in some universities, they have a rules like you need to choose the professor, talk with the professor only when the professor is accepted so that you can apply for the scholarship. So but some universities, they don't have this kind of option so that you can directly apply. So during the application form, when the application form is released, based on the universities, they will give you the remarks and requirements that they need to take the student, so you can choose that. Also, the most asked question is like, should we need 80% in for we to apply GK scholarship? As I understand for the application guidelines, yes, you need to have 80% of the marks in your bachelor's, or if you are applying for the undergraduate student, you should have like same like 80% and above. So so if some people are keep on asking me like there is also a condition which says like if you're in the top 20 in the class or the department, can we apply? So imagine there is a person who has only 77 percentage, but in the overall class he's in the top 20. So that means he can get the certificate from the university saying that he's also, even though he has a 77%, he can say like he is one of the top 20% student. So you need to get the top document from the university saying like he is one of the top 20 student, and he can also submit that. uh this is one of the most asked question. And another asked question is like, we are in the final year, if we can we apply for the scholarship? So the during this many people ask me about this question. So according to the GKS guidelines, current guidelines, you can apply if you can get the degree certificate by end, by the time you are going to go to the and I apply for the visa. So that means like by the July, if you are going to get your degree certificate, that means you can apply. So it's not like I'm going to most of the people ask this question like, I'm going to get my top 10, sorry, degree certificate after 1 year of me of my graduation. What should I do? Should I submit the provisional certificate? So I think NIED needs your certificate by the time you come to the Korea, not after 1 year after you come to the Korea. But according to this, you need to talk with the NIED directly, because like NIED is so reply so well, you can just email them directly about your questions. And apostille of certificate. So many people ask me like, is it really needed to apply apostille the degree certificate? And yes, it is really needed. And then if you don't want it to submit the real one, in my case, what I did is like I apostilled my degree certificate, and then I took the photocopy of color Xerox of it, front and back, and then I did the notary, and then I submitted it. You can, some universities might accept, some universities might not accept. So it, for this particular question, again, you need to talk with the university, because like it's not something I say that you can do it. It changes from the university to university. So I think this is what I wanted to say. If anybody have any questions, you can separately text me on Instagram, or you can ask me right now if it is okay.
Sandhya, you can also let your Instagram ID know if you're fine with it, so that they can reach you if they want.
Uh,
Or you can maybe write in the text box, in the message box. So I have a question for you, Sandhya, before I open
yes,
the session for others to ask. So what is it like studying in Korea? I mean, many people in India, they do not know about higher studies in South Korea. They do not have much idea about it. And so I would like to ask you that how is it studying in Korea? And also, when you were studying in Hindustan University for your undergrads, how did you find about
yeah.
this scholarship?
Um, I'm gonna answer the second question first. How would I find a scholarship? So it's just nothing, I would say. I was just going through the scholarship which who are gonna let me study for the free. So I found it through the YouTube, I think. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
then
Nice. So it
and
means
searching,
much information available on internet regarding GKS.
yes.
Whosoever is interested in GKS or coming to Korea, they can browse on internet. They can just Google it, and you can find easily much information about GKS. The website is www.need.go.kr, niied.go.kr. So this is the website for GKS. You can find all the information regarding GKS over here, when to apply,
Uh,
when are the dates, etc. Yeah.
so the another question you asked me about how
How
we
is it?
studying
Yeah,
in
how is it
Korea.
in Korea?
So to tell you the truth, it's not like being dramatic in the dramas or something. So you need to study so well. And if you are not here, the I mean, like even in India, it's so competitive. So as per my department, my class, all of my classes are in Korean. So imagine you've been studying all your life in English, and then suddenly you come and say you studied Korean language for 1 year, and then you're gonna study 2 years of your master's degree in Korean. So I'm not scaring anybody, but this is truth of most of the universities. So when you're checking the universities, you need to check it properly if what is it? If they are teaching in Korean or in English. If you're not gonna if you're not checking it properly, you're gonna have face problems like me. But this is not that kind of disturbances or something. You can do it anyways. You're gonna study. We are gonna study on our own. But yeah, and not only studying, for engineering students, you need to work in the laboratory for sure. And you are gonna choose your own own project, and you're gonna work with the professor, and you should be what do I say, like so it's more like you should be ahead before to your professor. So like don't wait till you wait for the professor to tell you what to do, but you need to do it before he says. It's the same. And then except for everything, the remaining would be the same, like we have exams, assignments, and all. And another thing that I learned more about studying in Korea is like in India we think like theoretical is more important. I mean, also the technicals is also important, but here you the very good point in studying in Korea is like you practice everything you study. It's not just like you just study and remember, but like you practice everything you study. That's the good thing about studying in Korea, I say.
And that's why you have to work
Yes.
a lot in the lab, in the laboratory. You will.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Sometimes you won't be able to sleep properly. So
Yeah.
that's not complaining, but yeah, it's one of the good thing that you're going to learn more things in
Yeah.
Korea.
So someone has asked that. how do they need to fill up the application form? Is it online or offline, and do they need to send it to embassy? So the embassy track, the dates for the embassy track in India is over. It was 29. So this webinar is to guide the students who are applying to colleges directly, and they want to get this scholarship. So regarding the offline and online program, would you like to take this question, Sandhya? How do they need to fill up?
Uh,
Is it offline or online?
so the application form for the university track, you can just fill the application with pen and paper and then send it directly. But but for the embassy track, I think they need to. I'm not sure about the embassy track actually, but as per I know that they need to fill one of the form, and then they also need to submit the documents to the embassy.
Yeah, so for
So
the embassy date is already over now. It was 29th of Feb, as I got to know. So this we are limiting this program only for the students who are applying directly to the through the university track. So yeah. And how is it? How is a GK scholar different from the students studying under professor's scholarship? So do you feel any difference in terms of?
yeah, there is a lots of difference actually. So it's like professor under scholarship, you could only get the maximum amount is like 800,000 Korean won, as I know. And anyways, he's gonna pay for the university and university fee and all, but he's not gonna get any extra money unless he speak with the professor. So it would be a bit hard for him or her to survive in Korea with a very less amount, as I say. But when you're with the GKS, so there are few good opportunities here. You're gonna get your health insurance money, and you're gonna get every month allowance on time, and you're gonna get it's not a more amount, but you're gonna get like a 1 million Korean won per month. So, and then for the dormitories, as a GK student, they give the discount. Like some universities give like 20% discount for the GK students. Some universities give like 50% of amount. So if my university fee for normal, if my dormitory fee for normal students is like 450,000, as a GKS student, I would get that same dorm for like 250,000. And as a GKS scholar, for some other universities, they won't even having any dormitory fees. Like they give you special, what is it called? Chance? Yeah, special offers as per GKS students. And I think I like the most about the GKS student. And then for the visa issues, you don't need to worry about it since you are from GK student. It's gonna be automatically update once you submit the documents directly. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, Sandhya. And Sandhya's major is aeronautics information engineering, right, Sandhya?
Yes.
Yes. So if anyone is interested in this field or fields related to science, they can contact Sandhya on Instagram. Her name is Sandhya Gumpina. You can find her on Instagram, or maybe at the end I will send it her ID to your. If you want to give me your email ID, you can send it to me, and I can forward it on
Uh,
the message section.
Also, if anyone want to join PhD in materials in professor scholarship, we have good opportunity, and we are paying good scholarship, not very less. But here in my university, we are paying approximately 1.65 million for joining. But as you will get experience like 1 year, 2 year, it will be increased. I'm also a student under professor scholarship, and I'm getting 2.2 million here. And in my lab, there is one position for PhD student. So anyone interested, he can email me their CV.
Thank you, Rahulji. We'll talk about this at last. First, let's take GKS speakers, and then we can have you as a uh, additional guest speaker at last regarding this scholarship. You can explain in a bit details. Yeah, thank you very much, Rahulji. So does anyone? So is there any question for Sandhya, or because she requested me that she'll be leaving after this, so she'll be leaving. So if you have any question, please ask right now, or otherwise we can begin with our next speaker. Okay, so I think it's fine. She has already spoken much about the FAQs, the frequently asked questions. So if you have any question, please let me know in the chat box, and I can ask Sandhya, and I can let you know later on. Thank you very much, Sandhya, for taking out your time and coming to our this informational webinar. Thanks a lot. And the next speaker is Dr. Rajesh Kumar. Dr. Rajesh Kumar is from. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. So I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandhya. So our next speaker is Dr. Rajesh Kumar. Dr. Rajesh Kumar is from Bihar, Motihari, and he did his undergrads and masters from JNU, and then he did his PhD in Korean literature from SNU, Seoul National University. And welcome, Rajesh. I would request you to unmute yourself and put on your video, and please give a little short introduction about yourself, and then we can begin with the basics about GKS.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Rajesh Kumar. I was a GKS student. At that time, it was called Korean Government Scholarship Program. So I got this GKS in 2016, and I completed my PhD 2023 in Korean Modern Literature from Seoul National University. Currently, I'm teaching in University of Ljubljana. I teach Korean and Korean language and literature here in Slovenia. Yeah, and I was asked by Kisle to just share my experience, especially like I'll be talking more about how to write your personal statement and your study plan. So yeah, I will start. I will do it with a PPT. Okay, if it's possible, I will try to share a screen.
Yeah, sure. I will allow sharing screen, and then you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now I can share. Thank you, Kisle. Yeah, so this GK's form, if you have seen, it has 2-3 columns. First is personal statement. Personal statement is in Korean, they write chagi soge. That's why they write it as personal statement, because they translate it. But in other ways, it can be also called cover letter or motivation letter. Okay, and it is actually basically a kind of a mirror of your life. Okay, your competency for the program and your enthusiasm, like how competent you are and you are for this course, and how did you have your life till now. So all these things are included in this personal statement or chagi soge. Okay, so like the Korean writing thing that you see, so it is a little bit different than that what we learned in India or like maybe other parts of the world. In other part of the world, we first make a background of something and then we come out with a conclusion. But in Korean, you first write the kind of like conclusion. You first try to say your main point that you want to say, main talking point that you have, and then you try to explain it. So while writing this motivation letter or like my personal statement or your study plan, please keep that thing in mind, okay? So there are like few things that you have to mention while writing this personal statement. First one is motivation for application. So that could be how you got motivated to apply for GKS program. It could be that you learned from advertisement by embassies, okay, or maybe some embassy program. Maybe as a while ago, our fellow speaker said that she got it to know from YouTube or something. Also, you can talk about like maybe if you are maybe related to some university, you can say, oh, maybe my professor told me about this, or maybe there were like past alumni from my university who are having this GKS program. And then also like you can also talk about that, okay, I was fascinated by Korean education system, or this kind of things that you just say. And other like maybe Korean cultural content, or maybe K-pop, BTS, or whatever you can say. You can say that, okay, it's more kind of talk about how you came to know about that application and how you got motivated to apply for that, okay? So for that, you can include these kind of things in your writing. Second thing is educational background that you have to mention about. So I will recommend to start from a middle or high school, okay? Start from really beginning, that how your education was. For example, your grades, your achievements. For example, maybe you did some kind of like you're a player of some game, or maybe you are in some extracurricular activities or something. You try to include everything, okay? You don't miss out on anything. Okay, and maybe after you're in the university, probably because people will be applying for masters or PhD, so they should also include a lot of their seminar, like symposium and participation, paper published, etc. This all should be included in your personal statement also. Then if you have significant experience related to your research area or like your area of study, for example, if you had maybe you want to apply for MBA and you did maybe BBA or something, and you are working somewhere, so that could really help your application. Okay, if you are suppose you want to apply for PhD and you have some academic experience like teaching or maybe taking some extra classes or something like tutoring students. Okay, or maybe in Korea you have like called Chogyo, the teaching assistant. If you have a job, maybe teaching assistant, research assistant under some professors or something, you can also mention those things. So those will boost up your experience that like, oh, you have some experience to come here and study and you know the know-how. Also, if you have any clerical clerical experiences that you can also write that maybe you are working as this and that. Also internships and things, you can also include that one. Okay. The next part is person or event that have influenced on you. So it could be some great person, for example, maybe people in science or maybe in nuclear studies or something. They can say like, oh, I came to know about like maybe Abdul Kalam or something, or maybe like I came to know about him or something, and I got motivated, and like it had a huge effect or huge motivation that it gave me, and that's why I decided to pursue my career in this area. Maybe many people I have seen they write about like maybe they were in a school, somebody came and he gave a speech who was maybe an IAS officer or maybe a minister or something, and this kind of thing help kind of like motivated me to take this area of study. Other things are like maybe some accidents that happen. Probably you want to go and study for maybe you can say like maybe medicine or maybe nursing or something. So it's kind of like, oh, this kind of accidents or something that happened that you found, and you thought like, okay, maybe I need to study about this area. Also, like recently, many people mention about the pandemic when they want to study about maybe sociology or something, how the pandemic has affected them. So these kind of things you can include to talk about the influence that you had, okay, in order to decide to study the given area that you are applying, okay. Also, while writing this personal statement, try to include as much as you can the awards that you have received, even a small award. Like Koreans are super, what do you say, they really pay a lot of attention to what kind of awards you have received. Even if it's like maybe you were in high school, you got some speech or like award, or maybe like for something writing or something, you try to mention all those things. If you have done some social work, that also has a huge impact on your application. And also internship and maybe some kind of other thing. Maybe you are going during pandemic, you are distributing masks, or maybe you are like trying to do things which was good for the society. You can mention those things also, okay. Most importantly, if you have any Korean language background, okay, if you know a little bit of Korean language, for example, before applying, you study a little bit of Korean language, try to mention that one also, that you know Korean language, okay. To some extent, you can say like, oh, maybe I know beginner level of Korean language and maybe intermediate level or something. Like you can mention these things. So that's how you will be writing your personal statement, okay, or chagi soge that you say. So here the chagi soge is more kind of like, talking about like your competency, if you are eligible enough to study this course or not, okay. So try to write it around that area that you are going to study. Next one is a study plan about languages. So here you need to mention that, okay, I will not be only studying language, I will be studying culture also. That's really very much stereotypical things that you write, but it's kind of very stereotypical, but still you write, okay. I will learn culture, I will interact with Koreans, I will learn the real Korean, okay, the street Korean, which is going to be helpful for me in my studies or something. Also, you will be trying to learn other people's culture, okay, their knowledge. This will also give you some kind of opportunity to learn about different cultures from different one, because you can show that like OGK is providing me this opportunity to study with the people from different parts of the world and like different culture, different educational background, okay. So you can talk about that thing also. Also, like when you write a plan for language or something, you should always keep in mind that like language learning has 3-4 kind of aspects to it. One is speaking, okay. So you can say like, okay, I'll be focusing on speaking and like all the aspects of language learning, like speaking, writing, reading, and listening. So speaking is, maybe you can give the this thing that maybe because the speaking is going to be very much important for me, because I'll be having the Hagwon Suab that you say, maybe graduate school classes. So there I need to have a certain proficiency in speaking also, so that I can interact in class. I'll be able to explain my thoughts to the professors, to my fellow classmates. Okay. Writing can focus that, of course, I have to write a thesis for my master's or my PhD. And this writing is going to be very much important. So if you are going to write, maybe if you are in science or something, most probably you'll be writing science from like maybe Tier 1 university, like SNU, Yonsei, Korea University, that you usually write your thesis in English. So you can talk about like, I'll be trying to develop my academic writing. Also, I'll be reading like academic articles or something to develop my academic writing skills. Reading, you can say that like, yeah, since I'm studying in Korea and like my research is going to be something related to Korea or something, so I need to do a literature review of many things. For that, I also need some kind of comprehensive proficiency to learn about the topic that I'm going to research or something. So reading is going to be very important for me while in studying or something. And then lastly, you can also mention about listening. Okay, that listening is also a very important part of the language education, and I want to focus on that one also. Apart from that, also like in this way, try to come out with something like, okay, it will be enriching my knowledge about Korea. I will know about not only the language but the culture. So these kind of things you can incorporate into your study plan that you are going to write about the languages. Now the next one is study plan. That is the main study plan that you have, where you are going to talk about your research. So this should be brief but concise. Okay, you talk but don't talk a lot, because you won't have like a space that much of a space to write. I think you can write maybe 1 to 2 pages. If you start talking and beating around bushes, it won't help you. Okay, so try to be precise. Okay, try to be brief, and try to be very much influensive. Like, okay, you write something and you talk about something, you justify it. Okay, so usually a study plan kind of it has like few aspects. First one is introduction and background, where you are going to provide introduction about like, this is like, you open, suppose like you want to enter a room, so you open the door first. So this is kind of thing where you are going to open the door to enter into a room of your research area. So you can talk about introduction and background. Okay, talk about your research topic. Okay, and also what this research is important. Okay, and your research in relation to the topic general interest, that would limit it, grammar. Like, no, you should be more kind of like creative in writing, so that it's even a layman reads it, he knows that what you are talking about. Okay, and then it's very much advisable to write a clear and specific research topic. Like, for example, you don't say like, oh, I want to research about Korean business etiquette. What kind of business etiquette you are talking about? Okay, so these things should be also very much you should be precise. Okay, and you should be really clear in your thoughts. Okay, and also, if possible, try to, like, mostly for PhD students, like for masters, even if you don't write your research questions, that's okay. But if you're if you're applying for PhD or something, you should outline your research question. Okay, and in the beginning, so that the person who is reading, he thinks that, okay, if this area of studies or this research is having any kind of merit for us or not. Okay, the thadangsang that you say in Korean. Okay, and then after that, you have to also write before that, like, I just want to highlight this page. Okay, what? Okay, these questions you should really keep in mind while writing. What, where, why, and then so what? Okay, so yeah, you did everything, but why? What should we expect from you then? This, like, probably every other person is going to do this. And when you have justified this what, where, why, so what, then you explain how. Okay, and also you try to mention about, like, maybe if you're applying for university track, try to go to that university website and the department that you want to apply in. Most probably you'll have the courses there, like, what kind of courses they're teaching, and they have course description both in English and in Korean. So try to go through that one. Don't mention the courses name exactly, but try to write down around this thing. Maybe some course is going to teach you, for example, in literature, some course is going to teach have some focus on writers of the colonial period or something. So you can write like, okay, maybe with maybe I'll be able to learn about the writers of the colonial period of Korea. Okay, or maybe in sociology or something, or in psychology or something, or maybe even other areas, like you go to the website and you can find this one, okay? And also try to write the timeline of a study, okay? That in masters you will have a 1.5 year of coursework, okay, and you'll get 6 months to write your thesis. But you can start writing, okay, I'll be for 2 semesters, I'll be trying to do my coursework, and then after that I'll try to appear for the thesis submission exam. Most universities, they have thesis submission exam. Sometimes it's called comprehensive exam. In SNU it's called like Nonja Shiham. So you try to write about that one also. And also like after coursework, when you will start writing your thesis, when you decide writing your thesis, this could be also reflected in your study plan, okay? Also, when you talk about a study plan, you should talk about the importance of your research that you are going to do, okay? And also you can talk like, why you need to do this research, okay? If there is any gap, okay, if something is not well researched, something has problem in research, or something which has been left without being addressed, like some research or area or something, you can talk about that thing also. And also, what kind of impact your study is going to make on that field, okay, or the community or the world. So not the world, but maybe like, since you're applicant from India, so what it is going to do, like for Koreans or foreigners, you can talk about those things, okay. Then you can also write some, the best way to write is like, you don't sound like, okay, you don't know anything about this area of study, okay. So you try to quote some articles, some writers, for example, maybe if you are going to do post-colonial study or something, you talk about Edward Said, you talk about maybe Ranjit Guha. So you talk about them also, that like, okay, these people. So that the person who is reviewing your this study plan, mostly the professors from the same area will be seeing that, and he will know like, oh, this person knows a bit, okay, and he just need a motivation here to come, an opportunity here to come and research about this one, okay. Then also like try to talk about the research method, especially in the science. Like in science, probably you need to have like a kind of really what is a concise this research methodology that you have to talk in humanities. You can, even if you don't write it in detail, that's okay. Okay. And then this contribution conclusion, it's more kind of like your the hypothesis that you do. Okay, maybe with this I will be able to do something like come out with, let's solve this question, solve this problem, or something like this. So this is kind of like this you can write in the end part, okay, where you will be concluding your whole thing that you wrote. Okay. Then there is like one more paragraph that is about future plan, okay, that is included in SOP. So this is more, you have to talk about what are you going to do after studying, okay. For example, many people can say, oh, I will like try to find a job in Korea. I'll try to work in a company which will be kind of like, which is doing business in India, or maybe I will try to like contribute to the Korean society positively, or maybe if you're a master student, you want to go for research, you can talk about that one also, that maybe after this I would like to go for like doctoral research or something, okay. And while writing this future plan, try to focus on things that like, it is going to contribute not only to your country, but to Korea also, okay. And also like, for example, some further research, okay, and like maybe sharing your knowledge with other people. This kind of things you can include in writing your future plan. Yeah. So that's it from my side, okay. Now I will hand over to Kisle now, okay. Or if anybody have any question related to it, you can ask me now.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you very much for your precise and very detailed information about GK as a scholarship. And I'm sure that the students who are from JNU and who are planning to, pursue their higher studies in the fields related to Korean language, they would find it very useful. And I'm sure that this video, this whole this program will reach to them, and we'll make sure that through our YouTube videos and others we reach them, and they are they feel good after listening to you speaking, because you being their senior, I'm sure that you have guided them in the best possible manner. So one thing which is very commonly asked question, and which people ponder about a lot, is that there are very less opportunities in Korean after studying Korean language, and that too after doing PhD in Korean language. But you, after completing PhD, you went to Slovenia. And for those who do not know where Slovenia is a European country. So Rajesh, after completing his PhD, he went to Slovenia, and he has started teaching in one of the best universities of Slovenia, which is called University of Ljubljana, if I'm not wrong. And Rajesh is doing extremely well over there, and he's a faculty now. So those of you who think that there is no scope after studying Korean language, I think Rajesh would be able to enlighten you more about that. So Rajesh, do you have something to say on it?
See, the thing is, if you are studying Korean language, or maybe you're in Korean studies or something, India is not the only place where Korean studies are there. Okay, so you can go out of India also. Like, for example, we have very senior person like Dr. Pankaj Mohan. He was the first, one of the few guys in the beginning who started their studies of Korean studies, and then he went to Finland. He taught there. Then he went to Denmark. Then in Australia. And then he became a dean at Academy of Korean Studies. So there are opportunities. Okay, you don't need to be really disheartened that there are no opportunities or something. So you just like know that thing is after that, maybe if you don't want to go in academics, you find it difficult to get into academics, you can work in Korea only. Like, no, you'll get your a job very easily in Korea. Okay, in corporate or something, or maybe some research foundations that you have. There are like a lot of research foundations also that you have. For example, you have like postdoctoral fellowship. You can go and work anywhere in the world. So you shouldn't be disheartened about that there is no opportunities. The Korean studies is still blossoming. Okay, it's not having like, no, it's just started to blossom. So there is like a lot of scope in future. Okay, so if you are interested in Korean studies, Korean literature, Korean language, okay, yeah, that will be very and could be like, no, it's not there is that it's not that thing that there is no opportunities. Okay, in India also we have only till now we have only 4 to 5 Korean studies center, but like I think in future it will become like maybe 10, 15 universities, because we are almost 1.4 billion people, and the universities are not that much, what do you say, not enough to cater to the demand of Korean studies. Okay, so probably you'll have opportunities in India also.
Thank you, Rajesh. So there's a question. Just a second. There is a question from someone that do we need to be so much elaborative while applying for masters, like research questions and outcomes? So the person seems to have less idea about that. Could you please?
Yeah, see, for masters, they don't want you to do because they know that you are just coming to study. Like, no, it's not that like you already know a lot about these things. So you don't need to really elaborate the idea that much, but it will be better if you can just mention them. Okay, just mention them that like, yeah, I will be studying this. So you don't need to be really concrete. You don't need to be really concise. You don't need to be really elaborate, but you should show that at least you know a little bit about the thing that you are talking. Okay, maybe like you start talking about maybe rocket sciences, but you don't know how a rocket works, and that is reflected in your study plan. So that's not going to be good. Okay, so you have to kind of be very much in masters, like, no, don't go in detail, don't go in really deep, but still try to mention things. Okay, like very superficial also, that's okay. Okay, but try to show them that thing that like, oh, you know about this topic. It can be like, maybe if you want, the whole thing is like, no, use of words. Okay, you use a terminology that is being used in some kind of like studies. They will know that, okay, you use, like, you don't start talking to very layman language. Okay, I want to study literature, and I want to study poetry. Okay, try to be like, no, aesthetics of poetry, or maybe like, no, some literary concept or something. Try to put that word inside your study plan, and people will know that, okay, yeah, you know about that thing. Yeah.
Okay, Rajesh, thank you very much. So someone has asked that for PhD in psychology field, do I need to prepare a research proposal? Of course, if you are doing psychology, I mean PhD, then you need to prepare a research proposal. So you need to be descriptive in that.
Yeah, especially for PhD, if you're applying, research proposal need to be really, really well done. It's really should have like a lot of information. Okay, and in any field, like in Korea, if you're applying, you have to have a research proposal ready. Okay, and like a good research question also, like, need to be ready.
Yes, and someone has asked that can I apply for a language course even if I have a science background? So in GK's scholarship, if you are applying through GK's scholarship for higher studies, you get 1 year of, 6 months to 1 year of language course for free. So it is mandatory and everyone has to take the language course until unless you have 5 or 6 level of topic, of topic. So topic is test of proficiency in Korean language. And if you have 5 level or level 6 of topic, you are exempted from taking a language course. Or if not, then mandatorily you have to take a language course. So even if you are from science background or whatever background, you will have to go through 6 months to 1 year of language course. And when you pass level 3 of topic, then you can leave that language course. So this is how it works. And of course, you can apply for language. If you just want to learn, come and learn language, you can apply through anywhere. That's perfectly fine. And I have shared a link of Telegram group where we guide around 300 students from India. This group is being run by Indian Overseas Congress South Korea's student unit, and we guide a lot of students about coming to Korea. And to be very honest, many of the students have come here to Korea after joining our group. We had some of them back last year for guiding students even. So we are doing a lot, and please support us for that. Please join our group. So thank you very much, Rajesh, for your insightful talk. And I'm sure that students who are learning Korean language, if they want to go into the academic field, they will follow your footsteps, and they will not just look to India, but they will, look out of the box also. And because the whole world is there, they just need to, do some research and, do some research and uh, really have a attitude of looking out of the box. So thank you very much, Rajesh, for your insightful talk. Now our third speaker, last but not least, is Shreya Mishra. She is from UP Lucknow, and she is pursuing her master's in Korean studies from Yonsei University, GSIS. And I am sure that GSIS is one of the best schools of Korea, because I am also from GSIS. I graduated in international trade, and I believe that people in GSIS, students in GSIS, are the happiest students. So Shreya, please unmute yourself, and please explain what is GKS, how did you get this scholarship, and how is it like studying in Korea, doing masters in Korean studies, and why did you choose this, and everything that you would like to explain, how to write SOP for your field, how is Yonsei, so that our aspirants can get some inspiration from you. The screen is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Shreya, and as has been told, I did my bachelor's from Jawaharlal Nehru University. Also, I was told there would be people from various parts of the country. So I would be using both the languages. I hope that's fine by everyone. Just in case koi bhi query unanswered reh jaye, so maybe you can drop just a text in the chat box, and all of us can help that query being resolved. So मैंने अपना bachelor's किया JNU से, and then got this GKS scholarship. Currently मैं मास्टर्स कर रही हूँ यहाँ की योनसे यूनिवर्सिटी से इन कोरियन स्टडीज. नाउ सबसे बड़ा कंफ्यूजन यूजुअली ये होता है कि कोरियन स्टडीज लैंग्वेज कोर्स है क्या, कि क्या मैं लैंग्वेज पढ़ रही हूँ. नहीं, GSIS का जो कोरियन स्टडीज प्रोग्राम है दैट इज अबाउट आर्ट्स, सोसाइटी, कल्चर, पॉलिटिक्स, इकोनॉमी ऑफ कोरियन पेनिनसुला. यहाँ पे दो कॉन्सेंट्रेशंस मिलेंगे आपको, एक सोसाइटी एंड कल्चर और दूसरा होगा पॉलिटिक्स एंड इकोनॉमी. सो कोर्सेज वुड बी डिवाइडेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दीज मेजर फील्ड्स, कि आपको सोसाइटी या कल्चर में अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन लेना है कि पॉलिटिक्स एंड इकोनॉमी में लेना है. So, talking about GKS, it is a scholarship sponsored by the Korean government. इसमें आपको आपका सारा कुछ प्रोवाइडेड रहता है, इंक्लूडिंग योर ट्यूशन फी. आप जब तक भी यहाँ पे मास्टर्स कर रहे हो, PhD कर रहे हो, बैचलर्स कर रहे हो, आपका सारा ट्यूशन फीस कोरियन गवर्नमेंट देगी. Apart from that, you also get the health insurance. आपका डॉर्मेटरी का फी भी यूजुअली प्रोवाइडेड होता है. बेसिकली तो डोंट प्रोवाइड इट सेपरेटली. जो आपको लिविंग अलाउंस भी मिलता है, आप उसी में से डॉर्मेटरी का दे देते हो. फॉर मेजर डॉर्मेटरीज हियर इट्स नॉट वेरी एक्सपेंसिव अमाउंट. जिस हिसाब से आपको लिविंग अलाउंस मिलता है उसके मुकाबले काफी नॉमिनल अमाउंट है फॉर द डॉर्मेटरी. However, in cases of certain universities like Yonsei, dormitory can be expensive too. So one thing that I would really recommend everyone is कि आप किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी में अप्लाई करने से पहले गो थ्रू द गाइडलाइंस वेरी केयरफुली, यूनिवर्सिटी की गाइडलाइंस भी और जीकेएस की जो खुद की गाइडलाइंस हैं वो भी. Coming back to GKS itself, as has been explained by two prior speakers, इसमें यूनिवर्सिटी ट्रैक और एम्बेसी ट्रैक 2 ट्रैक्स होते हैं एंड आप किसी भी एक में से अप्लाई कर सकते हो. जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स प्रोवाइडेड हैं उसमें आपको बेसिकली 2 मेजर एसेज लिखने होते हैं. पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट और आएगा आपका स्टडी स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस. तो पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट, as Dr. Rajesh already explained, talks about you, कि आपने आज तक अपनी लाइफ में क्या किया है, what motivates you, what drove you towards GKS, आपको किस चीज से मोटिवेशन मिलती है, everything. Speaking by my experience, I would say कि mentioning everything in the personal statement is very important, but उसमें जो भी उनकी guidelines हैं उस ऐसे में ऊपर लिखा रहता है, points में लिखा रहता है कि what do they need majorly. तो make sure कि आप उन सारे points का जवाब दे रहे हो अपने essay में. Do not miss any of their points because those are the major points that the selectors are looking out for. Also, I would recommend, speaking from personal experience, to talk more about you and आपके कि आपका family background क्या है, but do not say cliches like कि I come from very let's say lower class, let's say for example, because there are a lot of applicants और उसमें काफी सारे applicants इस तरीके के क्लिशे मेंशन करते हैं जो कि आपकी एप्लीकेशन को काफी जनरल बना देता है. So try to be as creative as you can and कोशिश करिए कि इस तरीके की जनरल चीजें मत बोलिए. Maybe of course you can mention in a line or two कि आप की पढ़ाई काफी मुश्किलों से हुई, but that should be enough. उसके आगे बोलना कभी कभी थोड़ा सा नेगेटिव चला जाता है. ऑल्सो आप अपनी एप्लीकेशन के साथ काफी कुछ अपने जितने भी एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं वो सारे कुछ अटैच करते हैं. तो डू नॉट मेक योर पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट ऑल अबाउट योर एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज. ट्राई टू मेंशन थिंग्स जो कि आपके सर्टिफिकेट्स आपके बारे में नहीं बता रहे हैं. आप वो सारी चीजें मेंशन करने की कोशिश करिए जिनसे जो आपके सेलेक्टर्स हैं उनको ये मोटिवेशन मिले आपको सेलेक्ट करने का, बिकॉज यू हैव टू गिव देम रीजन टू चूज यू. उसके बाद जो आपका ये स्टेटमेंट ऑफ पर्पस होगा उसमें मेन 3 एसेज जाएंगे. पहला लैंग्वेज प्लान, दूसरा गोल ऑफ स्टडी एंड द थर्ड वन वुड बी योर फ्यूचर प्लान. गोल ऑफ स्टडी में language plan would be about how you want to spend your language year. आप उसमें अपनी strategies mention कर सकते हैं. When it comes to the goal of study, उसमें I would recommend reading the curriculum of the university beforehand, because वो आपको एक आइडिया देगा कि आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी में कोर्सेज कौन कौन से हैं, and you can frame your study plan and goal of study around such courses that are mentioned. It's not necessary कि आप उन courses को लिखिए वहां पे, but if you are doing that, that gives an impression to the selector कि आपने अपनी research कर रखी है पहले से. So मेरी तरफ से ये recommendation रहेगा. Apart from that, I think I did mention the do's and don'ts of the personal statements. The main thing that is asked quite often is कि apostillation कहाँ से होता है? So this was something that was introduced, I guess, in 2021. If I'm not, no, 2022. It was introduced by NIID in 2022. उसके पहले तक सिर्फ notarization मांगते थे. But since 2022, they started asking for the apostilled documents. Now, for apostillation, you basically have two major options. जो सबसे ज़्यादा accessible है, but which can get a bit expensive, would be to go to the private agencies. Now, since they are the private agencies, आपको चार्ज वो कभी कभी बहुत ज्यादा कर लेते हैं. सो यू हैव टू डू योर रिसर्च कि कौन सी एजेंसी से आप करा सकते हो, एंड यू हैव टू वे योर प्रायोरिटीज, और उस हिसाब से आप प्राइवेट एजेंसीज के पास जा सकते हो. अदरवाइज अगर आप जहां भी रह रहे हो वहां के कोर्ट्स में ये सर्विस अवेलेबल है एपोस्टिलेशन की, तो आप कोर्ट में जाकर भी करा सकते हो. हालांकि दैट कैन बी एक्सपेंसिव एज वेल. फॉर दिल्ली, आई थिंक इन पटियाला हाउस कोर्ट एपोस्टिलेशन होता है. आई हैव हैड पीपल जो पटियाला हाउस कोर्ट से जिन्होंने एपोस्टिलेशन अपने डॉक्यूमेंट्स का कराया हुआ है. So that is one thing about the apostillation. Yeah, the last thing that I would address is, can I apply to GKS program even if I'm a science major but want to continue my studies in some other major? The answer is yes. You can for sure apply. The only thing is कि आप अपने essays में, as long as you are able to convince the committee कि आप actually motivated हो to pursue this major, आप apply कर सकते हो. There won't be any problem. ऐसा कोई limitation NIID ने set नहीं किया है. Even if you are coming from a science major and you want to shift to आर्ट्स मेजर, बहुत बड़ा शिफ्ट है. बट आई नो पीपल जो जिन्होंने MSc किया, BSc किया, उसके बाद उन्होंने कोई और दूसरा कोर्स किया, एंड देन दे आर परस्यूइंग आर्ट्स हियर. सो वो ऐसे ही पहुंचे कि उन्होंने अपने एसेज में इस तरीके से उन चीजों को लिखा कि दे कन्विंस्ड द कमिटी उनको चूज करने के लिए. सो दैट्स द मेन थिंग. एंड इसके अलावा अगर कोई भी क्वेश्चंस हो तो यू कैन ऑलवेज आस्क. द चैट बॉक्स इज ओपन, या फिर आप अपना माइक ऑन करके भी पूछ सकते हैं. सो दैट वुड बी ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड. या
Thank you very much, Shreya, for your insightful talk. And those who are interested in one thing which I would like to explain about GSIS, where Shreya is studying, is that यहाँ पे सारे कोर्सेज इंग्लिश में पढ़ाए जाते हैं मोस्ट ऑफ द GSIS में, जो कि सारे बड़े यूनिवर्सिटीज़ की GSIS हैं. तो
जी.
इंग्लिश में पढ़ना पसंद है. जैसे कि मुझे इंग्लिश में पढ़ना पसंद था. आई डिड नॉट वांट टू स्टडी इन कोरियन लैंग्वेज बिकॉज आई थॉट, क्योंकि मेरे पास 1 साल का कोरियन लैंग्वेज ट्रेनिंग भी नहीं था, तो हम मेरे लिए इंग्लिश में पढ़ना मुश्किल था, सॉरी कोरियन में पढ़ना मुश्किल था. सो आई चोज GSIS बिकॉज they teach in English, but GSIS is only for international studies. So those who want to apply for these fields related to international studies, international trade, international relations, Korean studies, international finance, or things related to that, you can choose some of the GSIS of SNU, Korea University, Yonsei, Sogang University, then Hanyang University, etc. So, and there's one question regarding students studying in international school in Korea. Can they apply for GKS undergraduate studies? So for GKS, I heard that if you have studied in Korea, you cannot apply for GKS, but I don't know what is the rule for the undergrad students. So do you know, Shreya?
आई थिंक ये जो गाइडलाइन है वो शायद पास्ट ईयर से चेंज हुआ है. आई डिड नॉट रीड द गाइडलाइंस कंप्लीटली एंड वेरी वेल, बट जितना मैंने देखा उसमें ये था कि आप जैसे मास्टर्स कर रहे हो, जीकेएस पे हो, एंड यू डिड नॉट कमिट एनीथिंग जो कि नीट की रेगुलेशंस के अगेंस्ट गया, तो यू आर एलिजिबल टू अप्लाई अगेन फॉर हायर स्टडीज.
Okay.
So, एक बारी, if you are thinking of doing that, do make sure to read the guidelines carefully.
Yeah, or if you have any confusion, maybe you can email need and you can ask what is need. Can you explain, Shreya or Rajesh, whoever wants to explain?
I think it is a National Institute for International Education, एंड ये कोरिया में इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स को लाने की एक मिनिस्ट्री है, एक एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री का ही एक हिस्सा है. और काफी जीकेएस जैसे और भी इनके प्रोग्राम्स आजकल, आई थिंक इस बार की गाइडलाइंस में एक दूसरा भी इन्होंने कैटेगरी डाला हुआ है. आर category something है which is you aimed at increasing the number of international students in regional universities in Korea. So however उस कैटेगरी में अगर आप अप्लाई कर रहे हो तो आप सिर्फ टाइप बी यूनिवर्सिटीज में अप्लाई करते हो, विच मीन्स कि वो यूनिवर्सिटीज आपकी सोल में नहीं होंगी, बाहर की यूनिवर्सिटीज होंगी इन अदर रीजन्स ऑफ कोरिया.
Okay, so there is one more question. What if someone wants to apply in Yonsei in Korean studies in Korean language, not in English? How it's different with GSIS?
So Korean studies is the name of a major, and if maybe you want to study about politics, let's say, of Korea, ये एक रेगुलर ग्रेड स्कूल के अंडर भी पॉलिटिकल साइंस सॉर्ट ऑफ कोर्सेज होते हैं, और वो कोरियन लैंग्वेज में ही वो आपको पढ़ाएंगे. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ अप्लाइंग टू जीएसआईएस, जीएसआईएस इज ग्रेजुएट स्कूल ऑफ इंटरनेशनल स्टडीज. सो ये एक डिफरेंट स्कूल है. तो आप रेगुलर स्कूल जो है, जो इनका जीएसआईएस से अलग एक स्कूल है योनसे में, आप उसमें अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. Whenever the GKS scholarship gets released, योनसे की वेबसाइट पे भी उनका एक पूरा करिकुलम आ जाता है, और आप वहां पे जाके देख सकते हैं कौन कौन से स्कूल्स हैं, व्हाट आर द कोर्सेज अवेलेबल देयर, और उसमें एप्लीकेशन के लिए रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या क्या हैं. यू कैन गेट एवरीथिंग ऑन द वेबसाइट.
Thank you very much, Shreya, for answering the questions. एक चीज़ मैं सभी एस्पिरेंट्स को बता दूं कि जीकेएस के लिए एक बहुत जो रिक्वायरमेंट है, वो ये है कि यू हैव टू हैव 80% और अबव in your previous degree, or you need to be in the top 80 percentile, right, if I'm not wrong. So top 20 percentile. So if you do not qualify this, it's difficult for you to get this scholarship. And in India, we see that many of the universities, they are very stingy in giving good scores to the students. So this could be a problem. So for that, you have an option that you can apply directly to, to different universities, talk to the professors, और आप प्रोफेसर्स की स्कॉलरशिप ले सकते हैं. अगर उन्हें लगता है कि आप एक अच्छे स्टूडेंट हैं, आप अच्छा रिसर्च कर सकते हैं मास्टर्स या पीएचडी के लिए, तो वो आपको अपनी स्कॉलरशिप प्रोवाइड करेंगी. अब यहाँ पे मौजूद मैं सारे लोगों को बता दूं कि कोरिया, दक्षिण कोरिया, साउथ कोरिया एक ऐसी कंट्री है जो कि तकरीबन 6% अपने जीडीपी का एजुकेशन पे खर्च करती है, विच इज़ अ ह्यूज अमाउंट फॉर द पॉपुलेशन दैट कोरिया हैज़, राइट. सो इसलिए साउथ कोरिया में जो एजुकेशन का जो लेवल है वो बहुत अच्छा है. यहाँ पे लेबोरेटरी की फैसिलिटीज़ जो हैं, यहाँ पे आपको जो फैसिलिटीज़ मिलेंगी वो इंडिया के बहुत अच्छे अच्छे कॉलेजेस से भी बहुत अच्छी होंगी, जो यहाँ के नॉर्मल कॉलेजेस में जो फैसिलिटीज़ होती हैं. तो आप चाहें तो यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट प्रोफेसर्स को भी कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं. और अभी हमारे साथ राहुल यादव जी मौजूद हैं, जो कि हमारे इंडियन ओवरसीज कांग्रेस के जनरल सेक्रेटरी भी हैं, और वो पीएचडी कर रहे हैं छोन्नाम यूनिवर्सिटी में. और वो अभी फिजिक्स में पीएचडी कर रहे हैं, और वो आपको बताएंगे कि ये स्कॉलरशिप्स कैसे लेनी है. लेकिन हम लोग प्रोफेसर स्कॉलरशिप के लिए एक अलग प्रोग्राम भी करेंगे. लेकिन चूंकि राहुल जी ने अपना पॉइंट रखा था शुरू में, तो मैं चाहूँगा राहुल जी आप एक्सप्लेन करें हमारे जो अभी एस्पिरेंट्स जुड़े हैं उनको, कि वो अगर मास्टर्स या पीएचडी प्रोफेसर्स के थ्रू लेना चाहते हैं तो कैसे ले सकते हैं, क्या बेनिफिट्स उनको मिल सकती है, कितना स्टाइपेंड मिल सकता है, कैसे प्रोफेसर को अप्रोच करना है, वगैरह वगैरह चीज़ों पे आप थोड़ा सा हमारे एस्पिरेंट्स को एनलाइट करें. राहुल जी.
First of all, sorry everyone for interrupting in between. Actually, I was late, so I thought this was the closing time. That's why I was talked at that time.
नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम, आप आराम से
So
अपनी बात करना जी।
actually, here for professor scholarship, the main thing is recommendation. The only thing work is recommendation. If someone recommend you, which is known to any Korean or any professor, and then you will be selected. What is your background? That is not very important. So the main thing is recommendation, and also the fellowship in professor scholarship depends on the professor's funding, and many labs give very good scholarship, and many labs. Actually, I am not in physics, I am in material science, and I have graduated from IIT Kharagpur. I have so I have I am from engineering background, so most of my contacts are what I know is for engineering background, not for social science or social studies. So here in kind of like if you want to do masters or PhD in engineering department or also in science, so you can contact any of your known, which one you know, and then ask him to recommend you, or you can select professors and send them directly your CV and ask for position. If they have position, they are interested, they will reply to you. But the main thing, if you have any contact and he recommend you, you will be easily selected. This is the main thing. And also I want to tell you all that in my lab there is one PhD position opening, and my lab is very good lab. So if anyone interested, he can leave mail to me with their CV. Materials background, either chemistry is also okay, but if he is from material background, then that is okay. If anyone have question, they can ask. And thank you, Kislaji, for giving me chance.
थैंक यू राहुल जी, आपका हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ बातचीत करने के लिए। राहुल जी, वी आर प्लानिंग टू डू वन मोर प्रोग्राम वेयर विल बी हैविंग स्टूडेंट्स एंड प्रोफेशनल्स इन कोरिया who had studied or who are studying presently under professor scholarship. So I would like you also to come and please help our aspirants back in India to come to Korea. और काइंडली आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट यू राहुल जी कि आप अपना ईमेल आईडी चैट बॉक्स में एक बार प्रोवाइड कर दें, ताकि किसी को भी अगर जरूरत हो।
I have given there
अच्छा, आपने दिया
already.
है, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। उस डायरेक्ट आप राहुल जी को कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं। अगर आपका 80% से ऊपर मार्क्स नहीं है और आपको लगता है कि आपको केजीएसपी स्कॉलरशिप, जीके स्कॉलरशिप नहीं मिल सकती है, या आपको ज़्यादा स्टाइपेंड की जरूरत है पीएचडी के लिए ऑफ कोर्स, तो आप
Actually, I have get both the scholarship, GKS and professors both. And for GKS, I have selected in Yonsei University. But this professor where I have joined is very good and giving me much money. So I joined here and escaped GKS.
almost double money he's getting under the professor scholarship. So you can choose accordingly. You can visit different university websites. You can go to the departments, choose the professor, see the professor, what works they have done, and under that you can apply for your desired the research topic. So अगर किसी के पास क्वेश्चन है तो मैं चाहता हूं कि आप अपने चैट बॉक्स में लिखें, या अपना यहाँ पे जो डिजिटल हैंड रेज करने वाला फंक्शन होता है आप एक बार हमें बताएं, और नहीं तो फिर वी हैव कम टू द एंड ऑफ दिस प्रोग्राम. So I'll wait just for around 30 seconds for you to reply, and then we can probably end the meeting. लास्ट अगर हमारे स्पीकर्स को कुछ अगर बोलना हो, किसी भी स्पीकर को, तो प्लीज फील फ्री टू स्पीक. एनी फाइनल पॉइंट?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I would like to add just one last thing. जैसा कि अभी हमने बात करी कि जीकेएस के लिए एलिजिबल होने के लिए वी नीड टू बी इन द टॉप 20% ऑफ अवर बैच, या फिर आपको उनका जो रिक्वायर्ड ग्रेड पॉइंट होता है उतनी उस स्केल पे आपको स्पेसिफिक नंबर ऑफ ग्रेड्स चाहिए होते हैं। यहाँ पे आने के बाद भी जब आप जीके स्कॉलर GK स्कॉलरशिप आपको मिल रही है तो भी you are required to maintain a certain grade during all the semesters. Otherwise आपको 3 warnings मिलेंगी and then you will be disqualified. Also attendance की भी काफी requirement है. If you are missing any of the classes, आपकी report जाएगी NIIED के पास जो कि scholarship दे रहा है and they will be deducting your living allowance per month according to the number of classes that you would be missing. So make sure कि if you are interested in GK scholarship, you have your mind clear and you are actually ready to study in Korea. So ताकि आगे आपको कोई भी during your stay here for 3 or 4 years आपको कोई उसमें problem ना है. So just make sure कि आप सारी guidelines अच्छे से पढ़ लें and you are very well versed with all the requirements. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Shreya. Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Rahulji, and thank you, Lakhvinder sir, for giving us the Zoom access. And for your information, Indian Overseas Congress South Korea keeps organizing these kinds of informational webinar every year. We are active in Korea since last 3 years, and we are working for the community in a very passionate manner. So thank you very much for joining today. And we are looking forward to have you in Korea, and we are looking forward to have you in our other informational webinars if you are interested. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Also, I think you have forget one name, one speaker name.
Sandhya, yeah, Sandhya, sure.
Also.
Thanks to Sandhya as well. Thank you, Rahulji. Thanks a lot. Okay, bye-bye.